Good evening. Well, as I have said, and others have said, it appears that President Trump has been indicted on the obstruction case, perhaps two charges, obstruction and the possession of documents. This is something that will be made more available. Let me read as much as we can figure out right now. This is despicable. Whether it's even remotely correct or not, it doesn't make any difference. This is not necessary. It appears the president has been indicted on federal criminal charges in connection with his retention of classified documents. NBC News soon after confirmed the indictment, which is the second time in recent months that he was charged. Let me see specifically. I'm trying to find what he was actually charged with. I believe it's 2 counts or 2 particular charges. One being the obstruction of justice, which we had anticipated, and also the possession of these. We'll find out specifically as to what that is. Now, what happens? Well, he has until Tuesday to turn himself in or to respond in some form. It will be preliminarily done. It will be an arraignment of some particular instance where he just basically acknowledges they're going to have to deal with. Does he post bond? This has no precedent. None. Nobody knows what to do. The bottom line is simply this. It didn't have to occur. It didn't have to occur. It didn't have to occur. This was not necessary. It was not required. It was not something that had to be done. It was not something that was imminent. It was completely within the province of the Justice Department to say, based upon the totality of the circumstances and based upon the fact that there is an upcoming election, it would look to us to be absolutely, without a doubt, so patently unfair, so invasive of politics that we have elected and used our discretion not to pursue this. Especially when today we find out that Biden and his son were responsible for what, $10 million? You know it's there. Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about, she said she's seen the document. 2 indictments. The first one with Alvin Bragg is beyond anything anybody has even seen before. I don't even know what to say. That is such a joke. That is such a pathetic, terrible, awful, horrible joke. And then this. Now, let me see if I can explain this to you. Biden has documents himself. What they're going to tell you is that the difference between what Trump allegedly did and what Biden allegedly did is that Trump is accused of obstruction, meaning that he and his lawyers had said, we've turned everything over and it's they've been released to you and we've come clean, and it is because of that quote lie. Why it's not perjury or something, I don't even know. That's the argument. There is a word, it starts with chicken, and it deals with something that is so de minimis, so unnecessary, so tawdry. It's a joke. This is the most corrupt system anybody has ever seen. It defies anything I ever thought possible. To politicize not only the intelligence agencies, but now the DOJ, the Attorney General, when you have the most corrupt president since Warren Harding, Franklin Pierce, and what Nixon did was a joke compared to that. I mean, there's a joke. You're seeing something now that cannot be put into perspective. I can't tell you anymore. This is when you understand what's happening. Prosecutors have discretion. You have the most corrupt. This Biden and that horrible son. This is like a crime family. They're in office. They didn't even leave until afterwards. This is being done right now. They didn't care, and they know it. I don't know what do you even call this, a banana republic? It's disgusting. I don't recognize my country. There's no law and order anymore. There's no decency. Now, mind you, there are people who are going to say right now who hate Trump. This is the will of the people. He's going to wear an ankle bracelet. They hate his guts. They hate him with such a passion. There is nothing that even remotely. It is so intense. It's almost psychosexual, this hatred for him. And he's done some stuff that's boneheaded. But he doesn't deserve this. If you don't want to vote for him, fine. They're doing everything to destroy him. They want to grind him into the dirt. They want him. They just can't. They're not even done with him yet. And there's going to be more. It's unprecedented. Somebody along the way, somebody in the, I don't know what you would call it, the shadow government, whatever you want to call these people, they've made it clear. Go for him. Just go for him. Don't stop. No mercy. No consideration. Look as vile and as third world and banana republic as you want. Go for it. We don't care how this looks. Go. Just do it. We're going to take everything. It's a new country. And you haven't seen anything yet. Anything. You have no conception. There's no way you can of the corruption at every level of the government, not just here. Foreign policy, surveillance. Wait till you see what happens with that FTX guy. Wait, just wait. This weird sense of justice. Look what they did to Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about anything, but Trump they do. I don't want to say that. I don't want to keep using these things like the crime family. There are gangsters. Who themselves would marvel at the sense of corruption. This is a criminal mind. I thought Hillary Clinton was into the money. There is nothing like this. There is nothing like the corruption we are seeing. And yet there is another version, another portion, a significant portion of the country who is laughing at this and mocking this. And they can't see what's happening. It's like if you saw the police breaking down your neighbor's door without a warrant, pulling them out in the middle of the night, throwing them into some jail without bond, and you laugh because you don't like that person, you're missing the point that this is what they're now able to do to anybody, and you're next. This is what we're talking about here. This This is what we're talking about. I want you to really listen to what I'm saying now. There's a lot of people on TV or cable or YouTube that everything is over the top with them. Everything. Everything is just excessive. It's not to be believed. It's everybody's a patriot. Everything is there are these people out there who I don't want to name them, but everything is just, anything to get numbers. Anything to get numbers. I told you about this one group. Everything's pedo, every story, every pedo. So they mock the notion of child predation. Then you've got these folks who are trying to glom on to the boreal fires in Canada, and they're using direct energy weapon just to get you to pull you in, because they kind of feel like, hey, it's open season again and we can say whatever we want. How are the numbers? Great, go after it. And then I get these morons who say this is terrific. Then we're going to get people who everything is Trump is this, Trump is that. Well, Trump's not perfect. Trump has made some dumb mistakes. I told you, as far as the presidency goes, it's Bobby Kennedy. You can't possibly find anybody who has talked about more things that I find to be very close to me in terms of subject matter. Okay, that's that. But what we're seeing right now with Trump, from the election, from his inability to contest the election, from what they did to his, and he's had some mamalukes, he's had some jadruls, from Rudy Giuliani, who I don't know where he went off the reservation, to Sidney Powell and these other morons who basically, I think, misled him terribly. I hope to God Joe Tacopina, or Joe Tapioca as our friend calls him, I hope he's able to do this. I don't have a lot of confidence in him by virtue of whatever. By virtue of that stupid cross-examination during the E. Jean Carroll case. Oh, that's terrific. Alienate, don't have him show up and alienate the jury. You're off to aces. Great. Alvin Bragg, they're going to get a conviction on that. And they told this guy, Jack Smith, you do this, you get a conviction. And by the way, that conviction is going to be airtight. It's going to be probably in Florida. I guess that technically speaking, the jurisdiction is Florida. Whoever the judge is. And they will tell you that federal judges are different because it's a lifetime tenure and they're not subject to political considerations. But whoever convicts, if you can put Trump in jail, write your ticket. Write your ticket. You are set for life. Do it. There's a bounty on his head. Think I'm kidding? Think I'm kidding? Think I'm exaggerating? And the thing that's important, the thing that is the most important, is that I can't tell people. I'm going to do this right now, and I've talked to people the other day. This is all we have right now. This wonderful document. This is it. This is the rule book. They have taken this thing and they don't. I mean, and you know what? And you can find not a technical violation of something. I mean, they've gone through the ropes, but there's a spirit of this, and there's a way of targeting people. There's a way. The reason why the drafters wanted you to be able to force you to impeach a president before you indict him or charge him is because they didn't want to use the prosecution process as a way of subverting elections. They wanted to make sure, and this is important, that they didn't use prosecutions as a way to undo and reverse the system. So what they did was they maintained the rule that you had to impeach the president first, then you can charge him. Because anytime anybody didn't like a president, charge him with an offense. So they've always been aware of that. The drafters could have very easily have said, no, just charge him. Nobody's above the law. Well, they thought to themselves, if we don't make it different for president, then all they have to do to subvert the franchise is just charge him. Now, he wasn't in office. They're also going to say, can he pardon himself? The Office of Legal Counsel has said repeatedly, no way, no way, no way. I would respectfully disagree in this much. I'm thinking like they would. Is there any prohibition against this? No. The Supreme Court would have to consider it. But here's the thing. Trump is not going to be the president. Trump is not going to be the president. But I tell you who will. And you got to think about this. Would, and I don't really know, it's not going to be Bobby Kennedy either, and it could very well be DeSantis, and most likely, if I had to put my money on it, it's going to be Gavin Newsom. Because they're going to make sure there's no way, no Republican reason. So the pardon issue is just moot at this point. What you're seeing right now is just awful. They're going to go for it. They're going to want to put him in prison. They don't care. You don't understand. They don't care. Even though you say to them, what are you doing? Merrick Garland, you can't put a president. First of all, what are you going to do? Is he going to have a Secret Service agent in prison with him? You can't. What are you talking about? Well, we don't care. Nobody's above the law. Excuse me. We make exceptions for everything. We have defenses. What are you talking about? Nobody's against the law. What the hell what does this mean? It's not above the law. We have specific rules regarding charging someone who's in the military, making sure that they were served properly. We have all different, we have statutes of limitation. We have defenses. We have affirmative defenses. We have defenses of including insanity. We have diminished capacity. There's all different kinds of things that we have come up with. There's nullification, which is not really a rule, but it's kind of implied. I feel, in some respects, that President Trump is an idiot. This might not be the time to say it, but I think sometimes he's an idiot. What in the name of God do you have any documents of any kind? And why wasn't there anyone on your staff to tell you, sir, as you are like to be called, don't even do this. Don't even get near this. Don't please, sir, no. What do you want these things for? What is this? And then to have his lawyers or somebody sign off and say, yes, we have diligently, and then they have the search and they find these things. What are these documents for? What are these documents for? And don't give me this stuff, well, Joe Biden, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, but Joe Biden, I don't want to hear that. Well, it's in his garage. Would you stop doing that? But ask yourself this question. What is he doing? Does he not understand what this is? Does he not understand? And does he truly believe? Is he so delusional? This is where I wonder sometimes. Does he think that somehow he's powerful, more powerful, because he's able to what? He's powerful now because by virtue of his charge that he will be more electable? That's the most ridiculous thing Now, theoretically, under the rules, he can run, he can be elected, he can serve office, he can serve. Because the rules under Article 2, he's got it. Eugene V. Debs, remember him? He ran, he was in prison in whatever the hell it is. So, this is it. This is a very horrible, terrible, terrible, terrible day. Terrible. And I'm able to, and this is what I think the mark of a superior mind is. Okay, Sparky, thank you for this. We're not talking about Zelensky, but thank you, Sparky. Thank you for your, just let's try to, let's stick with this one. Zelensky's Judaism is a wonderful topic, but not now. But thank you, but not now. This is, and I call upon you to be able to compartmentalize what you think. One, to be able to say to yourself, I like him, I don't like him, politically, I would vote for him. Okay, fine, that's over here. That's in this category. Number two, I understand the Constitution. I recognize the fact that there is a rule of law, and I believe that the rule of law is being subverted irrespective, and that's fine. As far as write-in ballots go, do you think, now let me ask you a question. If Donald Trump, as is suggested, cannot get elected on a ballot that says Donald Trump, and a ballot that you turn in that has Donald, a check mark, you think write-ins are going to work? Write-ins? They're going to find it, he spelled Trump wrong. I can't read this. I'm sorry. Are you kidding me? If they can do whatever they allegedly did to Trump on a ballot and bringing in more ballots as he suggested, they never proved this to be of significant numbers enough to throw out the entire franchise. But if you think he's going to be able to write in a ballot, what are you kidding? He's done. Please write in his name if you want. Please do. But he is done. They're going to break him, and there's going to come a time. There's going to come a time when he is going to say to himself, I can't take this anymore. And I'm not saying he's going to do anything stupid or he's going to whatever, but he's going to say to himself, I don't want this. And because of that, because of the natural feelings of rejection and perfidy and treachery, he won't be worth a president. He'll be so chastened, so angered, so understandably affected by this. He is not going to be president. He is not, however you look at it, no matter what, not because of this, but because of the totality of the circumstances. But for purposes of our system, to think that after what he's been through, this Department of Justice would dare say, they could have easily said, we're not going to charge a man who announces for president and leads his party so far in terms of nominations. We're not going to do that. We will look. Good luck. Good luck, Putin. How do we look, Putin? How do you think about that? What do you think about that? Huh? How do we look, world? How do we look with this? Hey, MBS, what do you think about us now? Hey, Macron, how about this? Huh? This is the number one. This is a guy who is the favored of the Republican Party, and you indict him twice, and you're not done yet. This documents case is so critical when that vile vermin, that Biden, that refuse, that putrescent, putrid, disgusting, craven, these criminals, gangsters, for loot, just for bucks. You're the president of the United States. You can make so much money. You're 80 years old. What are you doing? This is your legacy. You've sucked away. Do you realize what you're putting your brother through, your son, the family? This is the mentality. These are gangsters. There are people downtown with funny names who aren't this low, who would say, I've got my pride. There's a thief, there's a racketeer, there's a gangster, and there's a thug, and there's a crook. There are these levels, these scales, these. That's what's going on. And Christopher Wray is fighting tooth and nail. I'm going to fight him. I'm going to subpoena him. I'm going to threaten him. And they can't they can't come up with enough charges for Trump. This is the sickest, vilest day I have ever. I thought I've seen everything. And I knew this was coming. And I've been telling you it's coming. And people have said, no, it's not. I said, no, it's coming. And now that it's here, and now that I know it's here, I can't see straight. I can't believe this. What has happened to my country? What? I don't understand anything. And our little orange fireball, our world that was with Canada, and we'll never get to the end of that. That's just forgotten. That's just there's no one in charge. No one. I am embarrassed. I am disgusted. And we're telling people around the world how they have to conduct themselves. No. Ladies and gentlemen, you must forgive me. I can't see. I can't even speak right now. This is too much. I don't recognize this joint. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. We'll pick it up where we left off. God bless America. Please. God save America. It's horrible. I'm not even going to give you the normally jocular valedictory. It's that disgusting of an event, of an evening. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Be there.